add different questions. I can check questions and answers, making management easier. I had math questions but removed them. Adding a new section. Check the text, link, and requirement. Use requirements if needed. Check completion. It's required. No math, so I'm done. You can complete math, no problem. I can check the questions and their answers, and it may ease managing the new section. You can cancel all of this after you try it. I have several different math questions here. I appreciate it, but removed them from the section. I'm adding a new section, a new page. If required, I can use it to complete. Let's check the completion part here, and this is required. There's no math, so I'm done. We tried it. You can do the math completion, no problem. For example, where is the city of Tangier located? In which continent? In continent A. The expected answer is intertext. So the correct answer here should be written. So I am in the lowest section. This is a new page, of course. So let's see the text that we were using for the color, which is the reqwer here. If in the case of this reqwer, I can use it in the case that he is making a complete one. Well, let's see the complete part here, and this is a reqwer. Where is it? It's not a diamond. There is no diamond. I am a diamond. We have already tried it. You can make a complete diamond. There is no problem. Come here. For example, we say that the city of Tangier is located in a continent, since we are asking geography questions in continent A. The expected answer here should be intertext, so the correct answer should be written. The correct answer here is to write Africa, for example. It can be written without the diacritical mark, so Africa is fine. Someone might write it casually in Arabic and write Africa without the diacritical mark at the end, and that's okay. So far, everything is working well. If I take a question page like this, I can complete it. Correct, in here, it's writing. For example, Africa is here in Africa, and you can write it without the Hamza, like Africa, right? Someone might write it casually in Arabic and just put Africa at the end, and that's not a problem. So far, everything is working well. If I take a question page like this and say, how are you going to solve this? The student writes their name and then their seat number, and when they click next, the questions appear. Now, they should be in another section, and they can't move to the next section, which has the completion part, until they answer these questions. So they answer these questions here. I asked the student how they would solve it. So the student wrote their name and their seat number, and when they clicked next, the questions appeared. They should be in another section, and they can't move to the next section, which has the completion part, until they answer these questions. So they answer these questions here. Now they answered the second, third, and fourth questions, and they click next. For example, they might say that Tangier is located in a continent like Africa, as written, and then they hit submit. Now it shows them that it has already been submitted. Why did you make me go through all that effort if it's already submitted? Anyway, that's fine. Everything is set. They answered the second, third, and fourth questions, then click next. They might say Tangier is in Africa, as written, then hit submit. It shows it's already submitted. Why go through all that if it's submitted? As a student, how does it work? Why 0 points? I wrote Africa correctly, right? The completion part caused the problem. I submitted, but it didn't work. How does that make sense? I got 0 for writing Africa correctly. The important thing is there's a report showing they can answer more than once, and that's fine. I got 0.5 and it shows 1 of 1, 1.1.1.1.0. There's something about the questions. The completion part is what caused us the problem. I submitted it, but it didn't work. As a student, how does that make sense? I got a 0 point for writing Africa correctly, and that's right. Why isn't my answer accepted? Anyway, the important thing is there's a report, and in that report, I can say that they can answer more than once, and that's not a problem. Here, I got 0.5. And here it shows 1 of 1, 1.1.1.1. Okay, the important thing is in the report. And the report dot is still in the sting. I say that it responds more than once. There is no problem, I mean. And here I get 0.5. Okay, here, 1 of 1. 1.1.1.1.0. 1 of 1, 1.1.1.1.0.1.0.1.1. The issue with the last question might be a spelling error. It might affect the score. The rating is excellent based on grades, stars, or hearts. I can implement this rating. Let's skip that question. I'm annoyed by it, maybe due to diacritical marks. In this section, I'll create a student survey during the test, as Dr. Ahmed suggests. It's a form of evaluation. Let's put the rating here. Originally stars. It could be a number, hearts, a badge, a flag, or smiley faces. It's common on websites, as Dr. Ahmed says. It could be 5 or 10 stars. Let's tackle this completion question. Maybe because of the diacritics in English. In this section, I'll make a student survey. A survey for students is a great idea. As Dr. Ahmed says, it's evaluative. It could be numbers, hearts, or badges. As Dr. Ahmed notes, it's common online. It could be 5 or 10 stars. It could be a rating number, it could be heart ratings, or it could be something like a badge of honor. It could be a flag, or it could be smiley faces, depending on what kind of rating you prefer. It's often very common on websites, as Dr. Ahmed says. It could be 5 stars, or I could make it 10 stars. How does that sound? What's your rating? For example, what do you think of the current test level? There's no point? There's no point? But it's required, meaning it won't affect the score no matter what their answer is. But they have to respond. They need to tell me what they think. Right. Right. Okay, this is mandatory and without a grade. I'm adding a menu and I'll create a new rating for it using a scale. E.g., if we give the teacher 10 points, I'll ask, what do you think of the teacher's performance? Is it good? So it's without grades, but it's required, right? Yeah, but that's enough. They just need to share their opinion. This way, I can flip the unknown about ease and difficulty. Now, about the content, Dr. Ahmed, we can also ask about the time. All of these are great options and we can work well on them. Now let's move on to the Likert scale part. Yes. That suffices. They need to share their opinion. This way, I can flip the unknown about ease and difficulty. About the content, Dr. Ahmed, we can also ask about the time or overall. All of these are great options and we can work on them. Discuss the Likert scale. We often use it, but its current use is unclear. However, here, the student can choose something on this scale. They should select here or here, so they respond on this scale. Here, we have the scale points 1, 2, and 3. Columns can be adjusted. You can take something in this scale, the type of students, for example. We usually use it, but I'm not sure what we'll use it for right now. However, here, the student can choose something on this scale. For example, the correct answer is for them to select here or here right, so they respond on this scale. There's no right or wrong, no points. Here, we have the scale points 1, 2, and 3. You can adjust the columns, so the columns are fine. You can take something in this scale, let's say the type of students. Let's skip that for now. You could categorize the students based on gender, for example, male and female. I'm just saying, I'm not planning for that word. And here, for example, we could have a science major, for instance, and maybe you can take something in this scale, like gender. Categorize students by gender. Consider science and engineering majors, a required course for mixed majors. Check grades to compare male and female students' scores. Gather gender and major info discreetly. For example, male and female students. This is a science major, possibly engineering. You're teaching students the same test, a required course for mixed majors. You want to check grades to see if male students score higher than female students. The goal is to gather information about gender and major without students realizing it. Engineering, you are teaching many students the same test, and this is a university requirement that is studied by students with mixed specializations. You want to see the students in order to see the grade of the college or the male and female students, so you know which students got grades in the end, which ones got more than the female students. The important thing is that you want to get information about the type and specialization without the student realizing it. Is a term that can be used to describe a variety of situations or objects, often characterized by its unique and distinctive features. It is important to understand the context in which it is used to fully grasp its meaning and implications. So, the same applies here. He can choose, and everything will go along with that. I also have another type of question, which is ranking. Okay, here also I give a specific ranking that he sees, but of course I can get the ranking with choice, meaning fine, but here I can also work with this ranking, and here the ranking. Here can make an arrangement, meaning let's see it here. 1, 2, 3. And I went to Syria, in 1, 2, 3. Let's see how it works with you and how I can rearrange it. The ranking has the same questions to arrange. It works well with us. Now, arrange the Likert scale clearly and it will come out perfectly. Arrange it. What level? Arrange. So rank according to quality or based on what you liked about the course from top to bottom. E.g., I like this professor the most, or the content, or the assignments and activities. So I have a ranking here. I just need to check the view and put any answer here. And then I go to the ranking. I should answer on page 2 to move to page 3. I set it up like this, so this is my mistake. According to the quality, or according to what you liked about the course, from top to bottom. For example, here with this professor, I like the first professor, not the content, nor the assignments and activities, for example. I need to view and answer here, then go to the ranking. Answer on page 2 to move to page 3. I need pages for survey transition. Students rate with stars and hearts, e.g. 6 stars for test level, 10 hearts for professor, and say, I'm a student in education or I'm a female student. The issue is multi-choice. They must choose one category, male or female. The Likert scale can be used for feedback like, what do you think? Good, very good, or somewhat good, similar to research. I'll set it up to rank the professor first for the score, then content, activities, and assignments. I need to create pages to transition to the survey. The student comes here in the stars and gives me, for example, 6 stars for the test level and gives me 10 hearts for the professor, for instance, and says, I'm a student in education or I'm a female student, something like that. But the problem here is that there's multi-choice, so I need to go back to this issue. It's not working like this. They have to answer in one category, either male or female students. So I want to clarify that so we can use this Likert scale for something else. This is one item and this is another. What do you think? Good, very good, or okay, like in research. I'll set it up. For example, here's the ranking. First, the professor is at the top to get the score, with or without a grade, then the content, then activities and assignments. I arranged it like this, though it could be different. So I'm using this ranking instead of the arrangement. Set it as a ranking question, like rank countries from largest to smallest and score them. Got it? Now this needs adjustment in the Likert scale, so I'll submitted, that's it. So I use this ranking instead of the order. You can put it as an ordering question. Rank the countries from largest to smallest and give them a degree. Did you notice how it's coming together? As you can see. Now, this is what just needs careful adjustment in the Likert scale. So I'll hit submit right here. I've submitted it, and that's it. Here, it's submitted at the end. Here's the ranking, and here's the Arabic language, the students, and the professor, and the content. But here, we want to see how this is working. There are 0 points because of the 0 points, so I'll go back with you to this scale and we'll do it correctly.